Willkommen zu einem neuen Livestream auf meinem Kanal Kingkiller 1 und ja, wir gucken, ja, ihr seht schon, was wir machen. Wir gucken einfach mal hier ein bisschen die Dings zu World Cup. Woche 10. Gucken wir jetzt einfach mal zu. Wenn ich jetzt irgendwas falsch gesagt habe, dann tut es mir leid, dann korrigiere ich mich, korrigiert mich. Aber wir gucken auf Woche 10 zu. World Cup, ja, genau, World Cup. Woche 10 und ja, mit einem Ehrengast, Ehrenmann, der etwas kleiner noch ist, also nicht so alt ist, aber er ist ein Ehrenmann und bleibt so lange wach mit mir zusammen. Stell dich vor. Darf ich deinen Namen sagen? Er heißt Elias und ja. Und wie gesagt, wir gucken Woche 10 World Cup zu und ja, ich würde sagen, Elias, wir korrigieren das ein bisschen. Wir gucken einfach so uns ein bisschen die Tricks an und dann sagen wir einfach mal so, was wir gut fanden oder was jetzt scheiße ist. So. Okay, ich gucke gerade die Decke zu. Gucken, okay, den hat er, von PSM-Clan sogar. Also den hat er schön weggeflext, sagen wir mal auf Hochdeutsch, weggeflext, Digga. Okay, wie bauen die denn? Eigentlich recht gut, muss ich sagen, also jetzt eigentlich nicht schlecht, was wir sagen haben. Okay, gucken. Oh, schön fallen gesetzt, Leute, ich gucke gerade das Fenster zu. Ja, also die machen es nicht schlecht, sagen wir es einfach mal so. Oh, nice. Den hat er auch schön gefickt. Leute, wir hatten gerade eine nice, heftige, geile Runde Spielwiese gezockt und ja, ich hatte, aber wie viel Katzen? Ich glaube 41, 42 oder genau 40, ich glaube genau 40 oder so. Oh, der hat gewonnen, Digga, Ehre. Und Elias hatte 20, oder? Elias hat 20 Kills gehabt, ne? And we're getting back to those crazy heel Hallo? It's happening. It almost looked like a PG fight was going on, but we'll see. Go back to Zeke and see what's up with the rest of the games coming up. I like that rhyme. I'm about that shy. Hi. Ey, Digga, jetzt wird's spannend. Okay. Man, what an insane game there coming out. The chug splash. Digga, das Bild im Hintergrund auch wieder heftig, Leute. Man muss sich mal vorstellen, Digga, wie er das da gebaut hat, als wie das gemacht ist. Voll nice. Leute, das ist eine Wüste, ihr wisst ja, wo ich meine. Hier, Leute, World Cup, habe ich doch richtig gesagt, Digga. War ich nicht falsch bei korrigieren. Via the slope of the campfire, or you have to commit to either like proccing it off, whether it's the bandage, the med kit, or sitting there and popping the shield. So now all of a sudden, when it's an instant 20 HP and it stacks up to 6 times, like Leute, ich würde sagen, ich bin so lange live, wie der World Cup hier geht, auch wenn er bis zum frühen Morgen um 6 ist, Digga. Ich bin so lange live, wie der World Cup geht. Also Leute, vielleicht habt ihr Glück, weil 10 geht 6 Stunden, Digga, dann habt ihr ordentlich Glück bekommen, aber ich weiß nicht, wie lange der geht. Weil ich streame den World Cup jetzt einfach, oder? Ja. You can see the swimming pool over there, but first we're on board with Niddle and Casper. Now Niddle has qualified in the solos, is able to pick up there and then start his work from top down. He picks up a nice double hit. Ja, müssen ja jetzt nicht unbedingt wissen, ne? Also Leute, er wollte sagen, dass er an 3 Tagen Geburtstag hat. Das wollte er gerade so sagen an meinem Stream. Ganz entspannt, Alter. Gets knocked there. Casper, however, held the high ground, didn't go down to contest, and is going to be able to ride this one out. You can see it's a 2v1v1, but he equalizes by picking up Top Gun and then getting the first shot in the second one. 6 HP left. We talked about the difference. Wen hat er gerade gekillt? Irgendeinen Ghost-Typ, ne? Oh, was ist das? Nice. Leute, geht's ordentlich zur heftigen Sache, würde ich sagen. Also Treffen, also Aim ist, na gut, also das eine Treffer, der war echt heftig, muss ich sagen. Nice, der hat auch ordentlich genommen. Oh, nice. John, oder wie heißt der gegen einen, den er gerade gekillt hat? Keine Ahnung. Oh nice, sie haben wir gewonnen. Er invented. Nice gemacht. We got Anthony
Okay.
and Riverson. So Riverson used to
Ich
be
muss sagen,
the best
das
of the
Aim von
West,
denen
now
ist echt
playing over in the
speziell
East,
gut.
trying to be a beast here, doing everything he can to get another qualification spot. He wants it so badly, picking up Huayfo there and trying to
Niklas,
push through.
Elias, das soll ich sagen? Ich habe ja gerade meinem Stream gesagt, ich streame jetzt die ganze Zeit World Cup. Ich mache jetzt nichts mehr anderes. Tut mir echt leid, aber ja. Ich gehe nur in den Shop kurz rein, zeige den Shop und wenn World Cup dann immer noch weitergeht, zeige ich dann wieder World Cup. Ich mache jetzt die ganze Zeit die World Cup. Du kannst ja mal eine Runde zocken, aber ich mache World Cup. Ich filme jetzt die ganze Zeit hier World Cup ab live.
We go right now at the top. We've got Zayt and Saf leading with 48 points. 4 games played. But right behind them, you got
Ja, ist gespannt, Digga.
liquid duo of 72 and Vivid.
Gut, gucken, wer hat denn hier die Kills? Gucken wir kurz. Ist hier irgendjemand Bekanntes? Ich kenne jetzt keinen davon. Ja gut. Ja, keine Ahnung, wer das ist. Ghost, was? So, nee, kenne ich auch nicht. Tier 7-2 kenne ich auch nicht. Ja gut, ich kenne da keine von.
This is still really, really close.
And the one thing you have to realize,
Digga, die haben Fortnite Pullover an der eine.
Zayt and Saf have already qualified. So right now it would be 72 hours in Vivid, Slacks and Keys, and then Assault and Innocent. But with all of these players here, we've talked about a reasonable pop-off game being about 15 points. It's a 5-win victory royale or a top 5 with 8 elims. And in duos in particular, because everyone kind of squishes together at the end, those numbers can be inflated. We've seen 20-plus point games. We saw Stompy the Shinken drop.
Leute, ich hoffe, mein Stream wird hier nicht gebannt von YouTube, weil so genannt klaue ich ja hier gerade ja, den Stream. So genannt. Ich filme eigentlich gerade bei Fortnite privat, nimmt das gerade auf. Und so gesagt klaue ich das ja gerade ab. Ich filme das ja auch gerade ab für meinen Kanal. Also so gesagt bin ich gerade ein Doppelgänger und klaue das. Also weiß nicht. Hoffe ich, wird das nicht gebannt. Mein Stream. Was ist los?
Thank you, Zeke. Those eyebrows always
Digga, das ist so geil, wie die das machen, Digga, die machen das richtig geil.
And the Dubs and Mega, the big titans of the entire server on solos and duos. A nice, varied actually rotation coming in. A ball sticking beside a Flintlock pistol.
Oh, Leute, haben hier einen Face-Typi.
As these guys move around the field at the
Ein Jahr aus dem Face, klar, nice, speziell, geil.
When they use this type of
Speziell,
rotation.
Digga.
I love
Ich bin durch.
Flintlock as a rotational item. It's something that you can always basically count on finding at least one or maybe
Bruder,
a
muss los.
or shadows or something. And that Flintlock.
Wie lange geht der World Cup eigentlich
You
noch?
have it and you're like, oh, I don't have any rotation, but it saves the day
Nein,
here as
Digga.
Dubs and Mega make their way towards the zone.
Ich will das jetzt mal wissen, Digga.
Almost approaching that top 20.
Oder ist einfach nur gerade noch eine Nachspiel, weiß ich, weil kann mir nicht vorstellen, dass sie jetzt das noch filmen, machen.
It's just really impressive that these
Eigentlich
guys
gleich
used
wieder
these many limited mats, saved the ball, and got in without taking any damage. As it's so hard
Ich bin jetzt
to do
seit
when
8
one
Minuten
player
live,
has the ball
okay.
and the other player doesn't. It takes so much experience. Speaking of experience, knowing the proper sight lines and the proper builds to shoot as well is huge. As Dubs is going to be calling the shots on who to shoot at the moment. Dubs looking at boxes beside him as well that are just completing. A lot of chaos going on around
Ah ja,
him as
stimmt,
well.
sehe ich auch
Blue
gerade
tack shots
eingebildet.
available. So he gets multiple shots
Nee,
in
ich
close
dann,
range
nee,
as he
nee,
does.
dann ist wieder diese Werbung für 30 Minuten und dann, ja.
And that's what he's going to be looking for, doing his patented wall replacing. It is the box fight meta. And we'll see if Mega can play that meta as well as one duo holds while the other one pushes.
Ja.
Flintlocks coming in that
Also gucken wir das jetzt noch 1 Stunde 22 zu, okay.
Representing his name as a ghost in the server. We'll see what else these duos can do. As
Also dann die 30 Minuten, das sind dann zwei Gruppenkeile-Runden.
in the map.
Starting to flatten
Also können wir da mal 2 Runden Gruppenkeile zocken und dann gucken wir, wer da weit World Cup zu.
As I was looking at those standings, I was looking and seeing what the average points are for those top places, the people who are going to be qualifying. Zayt and Saf up at the top, they were averaging just slightly over 10 points a game at 46, and they had only played 4 games. Same thing with 72 and Vivid. And you know, I have a funny story about Dubs and Mega actually. Dubs was giving me advice on how to play in the finals. He's like, Bala, you got this. You can qualify. All you need to do is get 10 points a game. I'm like,
Digga, wie die lachen im Hintergrund, Digga, diese Lache, Digga, beste.
people who could do that consistently.
One of the only in the world. We talk about the placements
So.
and where individuals are in these leaderboards. The first 5 games, the last 5 games, and these 5 shots coming out of Vix
Hey,
are
gehst du offline?
so different and important as he gets that knock. When
Ach so, ich dachte, du gehst jetzt offline.
the mentality is very different. You have some momentum.
So, ja gut. Ich krieg auch Nachrichten, aber ich bleibe jetzt online gestellt. Mir ist egal, Digga. Ey Leute, wie viele da aufeinander sind, Digga. Das ist nicht mehr normal. Oh. Ja, keine Ahnung. Ich bin einfach irgendwo da oben, Digga. Ich sehe gefühlte 20.000 Leute, Alter, auf einmal. Richtig auf dem Haufen, Bruder.
The leaderboard Vivid and 72, and we saw Keys and Slacks as well down below them. Looks like Vivid is in a clutch situation.
Aber der Trip wurde gesetzt irgendwo. Wurde wie schnell der bearbeitet wurde. Habt ihr das gesehen? Es war einfach noch blau, also ne? Das ist noch gar nichts weiß, noch einmal war durch. Aber jetzt hat man ein bisschen langsamer bearbeitet. Aber vorher gerade, Digga, das war ja. Oh, das war einfach ein Bug. Digga, die spielen einfach so gut, Digga, das ist nicht mehr normal.
As Vivid starts to make his way up. 72 has been eliminated, so it's all him. Only 10 mats though, so it's just him and a dream at the moment. Now has to barrage through enemy.
Was ist langweilig?
Has an edit though, the last mat. As well, H-tag going down. Can he get the mats from that elimination? Yes, he can. 20 metal only, though, as he still has to rely on his trusty pickaxe, denying a player height on that layer as well. He does have 1 launch pad and 1 mat left. Tickers all the way up top with Hornet, who has qualified in solos.
Digga, die spielen echt sauber, muss ich sagen.
Dual partner as well. Kutorba dropping down a layer. We'll see if Vivid can find a way up.
Vivid doing crazy things right now. Fortunately, the zone did go back in his
Egal,
favor,
Bruder,
so
ist
he
spät.
doesn't have to spend too many materials as it's going downhill. And he uses the one season.
Ich bin jetzt seit 11 Minuten live, Leute. Das ist ja noch gar nicht. Wenn ich gerade so überlege, dass wir 5 Stunden live sind, Digga, da ist ja 11 Minuten wohl Lachfax.
Not even much though. Every single time he finds an elimination, there's not much at all. The edit coming through. Is he gonna finish it off? Yes. But does he get the mats?
Oh nein, bis 3 Uhr bleibt sogar. Oh Leute, ich weiß, dass ich bin nur bis um 2 live, aber das sind ja auch noch über 2 Stunden, Leute. Jetzt bin ich drauf für euch heute 2 Stunden live, Digga, auch spontan. Ball? Wie lange war ich jetzt schon 2 Stunden nicht mehr live? Ich schau mal kurz. Mein letzter 2 Stunden Stream war vor einem Monat. Digga. Vor einem fucking Monat. Was? Ja. Vor einem Monat war mein letzter 2 Stunden und 30 Minuten Stream. Aber heute mache ich schon über 2 Stunden Stream, glaub ich mal. Und wenn nicht, dann komme ich direkt auf 2 Stunden. Was war mein längster Stream? Irgendwas mit 11 Stunden. Das war GTA, das weiß ich noch. Mal ganz runter hier, die ganz alten, schmackhaften Fortnite-Zeiten. Ja, GTA-Zeiten. Gehen wir mal hier runter, Leute. Das war 1 Stunden Stream. Okay, 1 Stunde, 2 Stunden. Also meine GTA-Streams waren immer schmackhaft lange. Ja, 31, 2 Stunden. Also GTA-Streams ging bei mir immer lange eigentlich, ne? Also nicht kurz. Wo ist hier der lange Stream, Digga, wo ich mal gefühlt, wo ich bei 5 Stunden live war. Und bist du denn müde, Digga? Musst doch nicht müde sein, Junge. Ja, Mann. So.
Flintlock and redeploy combo, I think, is one of the most dynamic combos in the game, as you don't have to pull out anything if you fall off from height. It's very easy to kind of manipulate where you want.
Leute, jetzt kommen die langen GTA-Streams. 4 Stunden, 16 Minuten, 6 Stunden und 8 Minuten. Hoho. 2 Stunden, 1 Stunde, okay. 3 Stunden, 1 Stunde 58, 50. Züchtiger. 1 Stunde 22, 1 Stunde 33, 2 Stunden. 1 Stunde 30, 1 Stunde 9. Leute, jetzt geht's zur Post.
The biggest thing about it too is that you can choose when to stop.
Ist denn irgendwas Langes?
We see a lot of stuff happening on low as
1 Stunde, 2 Stunden, 1 Stunde.
is this? Is West just minding
Noch
to
was
East? What is going on? Why are you
2
doing
Stunden.
The timings of West, they thought, hey, we should get into games now. They fell off on the East. We'll see if they can
3 Stunden, 4 Stunden. Also Leute, das war schon meine GTAs. Ich muss ja nicht weiter gucken, Digga. Gehen in die Ewigkeit.
I mean, we've seen in the
Ich
past
scroll's mal
song,
ganz.
you know, he is a West Coast player, but the first week he actually moved over to East. Making
Oh,
sure
Leute,
that
mein
he gives us the most
Alter.
opportunities, the most spots.
Mein ganz altes Video
He's actually
ist
even
2 Jahre alt. Das war mein erstes Video, Leute. Also lade ich seit 2 Jahren fast aktiv Videos hoch. Digga, das ist krank.
At the moment, though, this is not the first chance.
Digga, das eine GTA-Video hat 61 Aufrufe, 62 Aufrufe, 84 Aufrufe, 45 Aufrufe, ja okay, 17 Aufrufe, ja jetzt ist wieder weniger, 14 Aufrufe, 26, 30, ja, 60, Bruder, jetzt, da mit meinem Modding-Menü, 34. Ja, GTA.
Once again, one player on shadows, one player on the balls, and in perfect position as well as
PS4. So.
a nice dynamic switch onto the floor from the wall once you realize that
Mod-Menü. So, was kommt dann hier noch? Geht hier irgendwas noch? Wie viele Aufrufe hatten das dann hier? Das 330, okay, 21, 18, ja Bruder, was los? 8. Ich weiß, ein Stream hatte so viele Aufrufe, Digga, da bin ich so Decke gesprungen. Der hat über 200 Aufrufe gehabt im Stream. Ich suche den jetzt, Leute. Also dafür, wenn ich den finde, nochmal ein großes Dankeschön. Wenn ich den finde, dann kann ich die genaue Zahl sagen. Das war extrem, Leute. Also wenn ich den jetzt nochmal finde, Bruder. Ja. Das war, glaube ich, der 6-Stunden-Stream, oder? Ne, hier, der 2 Stunden und 1 Stream, 204 Aufrufe. Das krasse ist 10 Likes und 2 Dislikes. Aber Bruder, 204 Aufrufe, hat es irgendwie einen Kommentar? Nee. Aber was du 204 Aufrufe, Bruder, für so ein Stream? Ja, 11 Likes hat das Video. Ja, ich gucke jetzt schon, aber ich konzentriere mich hier gerade, Alter. 205. Ich glaube, das ist mein bestes geklicktes Video, ne? Okay, nee, warte mal, hier ist noch eins mit 170 Aufrufe. Wie viele Dislikes hatten das? Muss los. 13 Dislikes und 10 Likes. Na gut. Also hat jemand ordentlich gedisliked. Aber auch das 170. Also weiß ich, die GTA-Zeiten gingen irgendwie voll ab. Das war doch hier der Stream, wo ich mal so 7 Zuschauer hatte. Das war meine Maximalzeit. 11 Likes hat das Ding. Und 5 Dislikes. Leute, Alter, was ist denn los? Soll ich mal wieder GTA-Stream? Ihr rastet ja richtig aus. Was ist mit Alter? GTA seid ihr Fame oder was? Die haben ja alle GTA-Streams haben über 10 Likes, Digga. Das ist ja, weiß nicht. Ja, ich hab keinen PS Plus gerade.
And I think he wants to go for the mats, but maybe a little bit risky. Does find a med kit. Is he going to find the time to pop it? Is this the final zone? I don't think he's going to be able to do that. Unless he really goes for the full heal off right here. Now, down on low ground, there's still so many people left alive, Shiloh. I mean, there are 11 players total. 7 duos still remaining in this game, and it's final zone. It is time. 1 minute left in the game.
So, ja. Ich guck grad, wo meine 7 Zuschauer kamen, Digga. Das war der heftigste Stream, den ich hatte, ne? Warte, bisschen Vorsprung hier. Wo war das denn mit 7 Zuschauern, Alter? Ich will den Moment nochmal filmen.
And shield right now has a little bit more time to move through the storm. That storm taking 10 damage a second gives him about 8 to 9 seconds to move throughout without an elimination. Speaking of an elimination,
Ich guck gleich wieder World Cup, Leute.
Intangible goes down as Assault is now just freaking on everyone. Another shot coming in. Threats is getting eliminated. Can he keep it going? Assault has that low ground lair. It's very dangerous for the surprise factor. Dave Vaughn getting
Was passiert denn hier? Der Wool, okay, da hat einen schönen Headshot bekommen, Sniper. In Fortnite.
Superman launchpad on the height, still has mats to answer with it as well. Starts taking the ticks of health first, but resets those ticks as no one has fallen under less HP. Creo with the high IQ launchpad and safety switch to stay in the Storm and clinch out that game. Huge plays there, 3 eliminations, the victory royale. Creo, you can't do it better, Bella. You can't.
Creo just pulled off one of the most insane clutch launch pads I have ever seen, knowing exactly that Dusty Divot has these, you know, kind of elevation changes. It goes up and then it goes down drastically. He knows there's builds up there. I can get up there and I can out-heal or outlast you. You have to make your way through all of that old fossil. Perfect play there from Creo, and that's why he's qualified in solos, right? So he's trying to do it now, trying to get double qualified and bring his teammate KiwiFace along with him.
We talk about qualified duos and solos. Sap and Zayt now, who also qualified for duos, are going to be looking at getting some more money and placement as well as they keep playing for these top spots for respect and practice as well.
Digga, wie gut die schießen, der die Treffer auf wirklich jeden Schuss, ne?
A lot of loot to work with now. Looks like they have excess mats as well. They're in zone. They could big up
Nee,
their base if they wanted to, make it a little bit bigger for more sidelines. Or they could stay cool, calm, collected. One cool thing I see from low ground usually is if you stay a little bit more low key and then look for surprise shots where people don't expect it, that's where you can get those big picks. On height, it's always dope to, you know, edit your walls, see if there's any advantage points. But with low ground, you usually have 1 or 2 angles, and you can get those pop-off moments there.
So Saf and Zayt, I've seen a little bit of on Zayt's Twitter about his strategies going into New York, you know, talking about how he's trying to control his drop spot being Loot Lake. That's going to be one of the most interesting storylines in New York, being the fact that they claim Loot Lake to themselves. We know how many duos are already dropping there. We know how many duos are already qualified in New York. So Zayt talking about, I'm trying to stop anybody else from being in there because he already has Sean and Aiden. He already has Mitra and Mongo. You know, they're trying to claim Tilted, but they could come back to their old home the way they qualified.
The mind games from duos saying on Twitter, we might be taking this spot or that spot. The biggest theme for Worlds is going to be clashing of all these storylines. Everyone plays in their region. They know the rules, but that always gets flipped. As Juxta gets flipped as well in the Storm, he goes down. Easy Elam points picked up from Sap and Zayt.
I do want to shout out real quick somebody who's been doing a lot of research on those clashes going into New York in solos. He put together all the drops. That's Arcane on Twitter. Absolutely amazing work. He just does that week in, week out. And now we really can look at a map and say, okay, we're going to see this, we're going to see that. And I can't wait for it. But you know what else I can't wait for? It's Fuzzy and Hogman. This is one of the teams that has had those, you know, heartbreaking weeks, those heartbreaking
Oh, okay, der Camp da drüben einfach mal wieder.
Because every week they're up there as Hogman picks up webs. Every single week they're getting so close. And we saw them up on the leaderboard before, right around probably, possibly this game is fresh for us, not even realizing any of the points here. Hogman, you are crazy. He just went all the way up on high ground with the baller, and Fuzzy's doing the same too, but staggered because now, no, just barely. I thought he was going to take full high ground while Hogman fights from below. But what a crazy play there. They're all of a sudden in a really good position.
They talk about the use of ballers in competitive, but no one does it better, I think, than Hogman and Fuzzy. Hogman was the king of ballers coming in from solo. He's kind of given that knowledge to Fuzzy as well. The amount of time they can keep these ballers alive near the end of the circle. A Rift coming out now, seeing if they can once again reposition. Looks like their game plan is always zone 6 and 7. Fight for that height. Use your mats then. So if the balls don't work, we'll see if the Rift to go can work. And it does almost, as Hogman gets that slow deploy, but pops off on Sean Claude from the back. We'll see if he can build up. Another shot coming in. The Sidewinder combat shotgun. We'll see if he can wall replace here. His enemy goes down lower towards the ground. Sean gets that Elim, or Hogman gets the Elam confirmed on Sean. Multi-layered high ground available as well for this duo.
Yeah, and I'm curious, okay, they are going to use the launch pad to get right back down. Actually, Fuzzy's going to go ahead and drop all the way down. He does have that glider redeploy, but one thing I'm noticing in their inventory, they have the chug splashes. We saw the play earlier from Famhood. So that is a possibility here in this game, but there's still so much to play, Shio.
The Chuck Splash is one thing you can always bait and switch with. We saw that high ground PG fight about to happen, but instantaneously that heal off came in. We'll see what these duels can do with the utility they have. Brispy going for a nice utility play as his trap gives him some fruition, but he can't capitalize on getting those mats, ammo, or weapon upgrades because these guys have to move for the storm. Sometimes you can get those high priority elims down, but you won't be able to get everything out of them except for just the points, and it might make it so that you fall behind on tempo for the rest of the game, moving on positions.
Speaking of tempo, I love how Sherry here is not, you know, full topping all the way through, but what he is doing is placing a floor and a cone on the bottom layer and making sure that if anybody's going to go below, I can make that edit. I can open up on you.
A lot of personalized styles from a lot of people. Powbro going down. We'll see Cherry actually moving behind his builds as his duo stays up. This is huge. 6 duos left alive now. 1 more placement point left. We'll see who's allowed to play and who is not going to get any placement points from this point onwards. Hogman on the high ground with Fuzzy, who's trying to wall replace. Once again, this genius type of split on height where one person, one target, for the other one goes
Boah, Bruder, wie der spielt.
in a dirty situation, but Hogman cleans it up. Very nice stuff there as they get that elim down. Big points available as well for these duels if they can keep getting these elims over and over again.
And I love how they collapse directly on that player.
Digga, die spielen alle so clean, Digga, so gut.
Full sending on them. They both came down and made sure that they would handle this, but making sure that they're also getting that victory royale. They're slowing down, splitting the materials, knowing exactly where that LXRI duo is going to be, but Fuzzy goes down. It's now all up to Hogman, maybe opening a little bit preemptively there, but it's still top 3 situation. They've earned all the placement points. Hogman's gonna get revenge onto Cherry. There's still one more down below, but he has no match. Just fine. The Siphon match right there, that's gonna allow him to stay up just for a little bit longer. Using the Chug Splash, not yet using that slurp, but he sees an opportunity, does get a couple shots. Now it's a 1v1 down on low ground. Hogman can take his time or go full send, get the elimination. Yes, onto Brispy, and then finally onto Lotus. Hogman and Fuzzy take the victory royale with 20 points.
Options, options, options. Hogman just using the proper shots, using the proper heals. Zeke, what do you think about all this, man? How is this stuff getting so insane and more ramped up over and over again?
Digga, die spielen aber auch voll gut eigentlich, ne?
A while now that Hogman's and Fuzzy had it, and right then they just put all the pieces together. A massive 20-point game. Let's go.
Fuzzy Wuzzy doesn't care. Fuzzy Wuzzy will take all your points away and qualify for the World Cup. That should have rhymed. I apologize.
Sundown has long hair. There's the rhyme.
You go.
All right, let's talk about some dope clips that you pulled for us.
Yes, let's take a look at some of the individual efforts that are coming out. I know it's Duos Week, but right now these guys are putting their partner on their back. First, you can see Vivid, no mats, no partner, no problem. Picks up the first elim, then immediately gets the knock onto a rock. He gets the bare minimum of mats there, a little bit more, 18, and he's able to convert it into more. Gets the immediate pickaxe and then finds out GG's only Rig Earth, not enough there. Frags his way into the top 10, and then he's still going. We hopped on board with him. He was at 2 elims, no mats, no partner. Now all of a sudden, 6 elims, 75 mats, has control of the mid-tarp, gets himself into that top 5 situation, almost single-handedly, brilliantly done from the week 1 qualifier. It was a great effort and another great individual effort out of Assault here. Drops down, puts the drum gun at mid-range to work, picking up branches, and then he gets the upgrade to that legendary combat, and then he's gonna go to town and finds Wordbro on the quick rotation through, and then doesn't let up, still picking people up inside the top 10 and sticking with it. This is how Innocence and Assault have made their plays. They've done it by fragging out and getting the elims, trying to be the only full controller duo. Shout out to Wolfies being the second controller player to make it so far to the Fortnite World Cup for the duos, and Assault just running down the low ground here. And again, this has been all without Innocence. We hopped on board. He was only on the 2 elims. He was able to get 5, 6 now, and then get himself into the top 5 as well. Just a brilliantly done play. And will the individual efforts be enough? Speaking of an individual effort, Creo with the nuts launchpad up onto the high ground, and then watch how he stays in the storm. We talk about every single interaction mattering, sometimes not even the interaction mattering, every single second, and just having 1 more second in the zone. He knows when it goes to full close, he's ready to challenge out. Brilliantly done, trying to get Lazarus a duo spot as well as their solo spot. Let's take a look at the standings so far, and it's Slackies and Keys right now in the top spot, 57 points. The Young Calculator and Mac was just behind them with 56, and then Aroa and NPen currently in 3rd at 55. The spread starting to get there now, 9 points, but again, it is anybody's match, Zeke. It is anybody's tournament, anybody's day. All of these guys have been so close, and this is really a who's who of NA East for competitive Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really big names here. Again, there's only the 3 spots in NA East, so a lot of these guys are going to look to bring their A game heading into these last few matches. I mean, when you look at even Calculator and Macwood, right, they've got the 7 games played. That's a lot with very little margin of error there, so gotta hope they come up with some really big games. But Fortnite fan, we appreciate, of course, you guys for hanging out with us, sticking around for Fortnite, all the Fortnite action. But for now, we're going to go to break. I know, Just get up, go get yourself a snack, use the restroom, come back. We'll have more Fortnite action. Don't go too far.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
What's up, Fortnite fam?
Today, we're going to be playing for $3 million for charity, folks, and it is going to be an incredible time.
Digga.
50 of your favorite Fortnite personalities will be paired up with 50 celebrities put on this fantastic stage.
It's going to be awesome. It's duos, so we've seen it before at the Pro-Am last year, and it's always a blast. I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
The first match of the Summer Block Party Pro-Am is beginning right now.
They're putting down pressure. No one's safe now. That's one Elam right there. Can he get a second? That is going to get followed up because he desperately needs materials.
A player behind 102 to the face. Look at this, he's just waiting for a full send. It's Symphony. He shuts him down. It's a 1v1. Who is the other player that's left? Oh! Here it is. He's going to go with the X. Oh! Airwalks.
Wow. Dude, that was aggressive. Look at him go here. Just beating down players. No weapons. Doesn't even need them.
Wants this. Look at this. Aiden's just supplying pressure.
Oh, tries to go for the high grab.
This might have been a mistake. This is Aiden. We're talking about more damage. Bucky's down to nothing. And Aiden, victory royale.
Well, it doesn't connect with the shot. Marshall Lynch hits 75 blue.
One great shot connects up, comes up over top. It's a second right there, and the Rift goes out.
Oh, she's on the run. She's chasing it down.
You're not gonna let this one go away. Oh no, no, you know you're a solo. No turning back now.
35 wide on that damage. Aaron Ewok got the target. One build remaining, and that's it. He's gonna land in front of him. And typical gamer. Final game. Typical gamer pops up behind Janina. Oh, the rage. At this point in time, not looking the best when it comes.
Hallo?
Symphony with the victory royale! Your winner of the second Fortnite Pro-Am is Oral Grime.
I'm a big fan of competitive Fortnite and watching it, so this has been really cool to be involved with.
That was easy, actually.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Ja, sag ich auch. Peasy. So, jetzt geht's gleich wieder weiter. Leute, wisst ihr, was ich jetzt machen werde? Und zwar... Ich werde... Ach, keine Ahnung, ich guck mal. So. Genau, 53 Sekunden ja gerade das. Zeigen sie das noch alle. Okay, nice, nice. Moisti, Moja, Goisti, Lawyer. Moisti, Goya, Goya, Lawyer. Das geht nur 30 Sekunden jetzt mal hier erstmal alle durchzeigen. Wie viel haben die denn? Bruder, schluck auf.
Welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup Online Open. We are in our last week, and we are knee-deep in the action in NA East. So let's get right back in the action. I mean, we're seeing crazy storylines right now. So many names are fighting for that top of the leaderboard. We just saw Harmon and Fuzzy clutch up big time. We see names like 72 Hours and Vivid, Aspect and Animal. They're all pushing the top of the leaderboard. So let's get right back into it. Gentlemen, I have Sundown and I have Zeke. Guys, take it away.
Boom. The original duo returns again.
You know us, you probably don't like us, but we're ready to get into the matches. NA East is on
for
its way.
yourself.
Week 10 going, I know everybody loves you, but
I was going to say everyone hates me.
Appreciate the humor. The games are ready, let's get into it. The back third of NA East. These are going to be the final, not quite the final matches. So just a little bit ago, we still have a little bit of leaderboard to work through, but we're getting down to the wire in terms of the spot. Brazil is getting down there as well. We'll have those results when they're final, but only 5 spots left. And the Fortnite World Cup solos are done. This will be the end of the
alles
duos
weiter
as
und ich werde jetzt weg sein, weil ich das machen muss. So lange wie der Wettkampf geht, werde ich jetzt weg sein. Vielleicht komme ich nochmal zwischendurch. Wir werden sehen. Und ja, würde ich sagen, ich mache kurz mal alles raus. Party. Stellen wir hier schon eine auf. So habe ich schon eine erstellt, mache ich dann privat. Und ja Leute, jetzt werde ich erstmal auf Cover, ich werde das Mikrofon ausschalten und würde sagen, haut rein, vielleicht bekomme ich heute meinen Stream, vielleicht lasse ich mich jetzt, also bin jetzt einfach nur live und zeige mich mit Cut, würde ich sagen, haut rein und ciao.
I really dislike. So I actually like box fights more when I have ice on my feet, because for some reason I've actually, like, I went back and looked, I win a higher percentage of them. I don't know if it's just because the chaos or it throws my opponents off more, but in terms of rotating and all that, just absolutely dislike it. But Aroa and Npen getting pushed on by Destroy and his partner, Destroy, will end up being converted over, but he's trying to disengage over. He knows Destroy is going to end up being picked up, is going for the revive on Npen right now as RJX pushes in, trying to get over towards his partner, but not going to be able to do it. As Frost and Devious keep putting pressure on him, Baldi Sama is directly above them as well. No shotgun in sight, Zeke.
That's probably why he's not taking this fight. He could easily get in that box, but I mean, if you're going to put an infantry rifle to work in that close range, you're probably not going to hit the shots, especially with a shallow magazine there. You probably just don't want to be taking those fights.
Well, it's so close range, it's not horrible, right? 44 to the chest, and then you have the 88 afterward. Oh, like that! He uses it, he pushes it in the box, and he finds it, the back-to-back headshots. Dini gets sent down right away, and now Baldi knows he has that wall. He's trying to find the shot. Can he find it? No, instead gets ripped up into the sky. He's like, all right, I'll take a free rotation. Would have liked the shotgun, but a rotation will be nice, as you can now check out the backside of the storm. Ricardini, Assassin, FA Mark, Dodo Crunchy, and Orbi all trying to make it over to that launch pad. Diego and Aiden just rotating on the low ground. The SH boys trying to find some room. No utility insight and hurting on Matt so far.
So you know what I've discovered is that I guess these players can just somehow hear me. So every time I say something that doesn't seem plausible, they just say, Zeke, hold my slurp juice. Watch this. So that's why I basically said that. I was like, there's no way. Oh. And, you know, I was wrong. Niddle there picked up, though, and of course is going to be confirmed there, because that's going to keep Aiden alive. That extra siphon going to make the difference.
And then the storm actually moving back over across from him when he's in kind of a tough position from the metal. Will now have to rotate away, but isn't going to be forced out. And with just above 70 effective HP, that's going to be huge. Got to chuck out the stinks to try and get whatever ticks he can. Those players are all super low, and he drops down. He gets Cameron in JG. Can he find the other player? Casker gets ticked over as well. That's one, that's two. He gets the knock there. He needs to find the conversion. Can he find the siphon? He did. 49. He needs to find the zone, though. 1, 2, 3. You can't miss the power point. Oh! The siphon again. That was his knock, which means he gets into the zone. 19 HP, and Jezel TTV takes him down. Give them a follow there, as Psalm and Symmetrical are the only ones up on the high ground. The rest of the lobby is going to have to go up against Old Man Mountain as Aspect begins his climb. So does Exus. Tendons and Nolan's directly behind him as we're closing in on the top 10. Z-Laner picks up Funded, and Nolan actually gets a knock onto Psalm, which I'm assuming is from knocking out the high ground. So I'm not sure anybody's up there yet. High ground is now gone. Aspect and Animal own it.
12 players, 8 duos, top 5 is the next threshold. You've got a player down below using that campfire, trying to keep themselves alive right now in Aspect. And you know, his dual partner Animal, like you said, they've got the high ground advantage. This is huge. It depends on where we're going, but look at Animal's HP. Bottom left right now, critical condition. Laner there is going to be picked up, and on 106 over on the dome of that player. Aspect only gets traded out for 38.
He wants to go aggro on him. He knows where that player is, knows he's on the backside. He's looking to find it. How deep did he disengage down? Can I go find it as Symmetrical? Picks up Bambi for Pyronic, and Stony and Crunchy on the low ground. Tendons and Forwards on the tarp beneath. Aspect and Animal on ultimate high. Tendons and Nolan are in your bottom right-hand corner. Aspect and Animal in the top right. You can see all the rest of the action on the left-hand side as Stony does end up actually forcing down Nolan. Tendons goes to try and challenge, is able to find it, and then Stony gets knocked as well. But the high ground's going to be the difference as Tendons is doing everything he can to remain in the zone, and he found it 10 HP, but it's not going to matter. Aspect picks it up. That's the 4 elims plus the victory route. 14 points going over, pushing them up to 53. That's why they were up there on the leaderboard. The favorites coming in after all the warm-ups kind of fell off, but Aspect has been rolling, and they're trying to make it again. This is week 10. Oceania is done. Asia is done. Europe is done. And we're in the back half of NA East. It is time to put up or stay at home. The trips to New York City are on the line, and Bizzle and Demo want to be there together. Of course, Bizzle qualifying in week 1, but he wants to be playing with Demo on that stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to try and get your dual partner into the finals, right? This is going to be one of the most insane events, I think, ever, right? And if you're Ghost Bizzle, who's already qualified, you're thinking, I've got to try and get my dual partner there. Demo, we've got to make it there. And, you know, they've come close. They haven't put it together yet, but
I think they came probably about as close as any other guys. I've told the story a couple times.
Yeah, you have.
In, I think it was week 4 or week 6. Or no, it was week 6. There was one Shadow Bomb rotation when they were in 16th place, where they popped the window, and 2 guys were staring at them, just waiting for the door to come out, and they both got lasered, and a half second later, somebody else went down. So that would have been the points. That would have been enough to push them over the top. And that's when we talk about every little moment mattering, every decision sometimes being the difference. That is the prime example. But Virus QT does get picked up, and Bizzle and Demo are going to look to make a case here. Kind of hurting in terms of utility, but positional-wise, not in a bad spot.
Yeah, I mean, ammo is looking pretty sparse, right? Just a mag and a half in the AR. There are a few rounds with the flint knock, a few slugs there for the combat. Not much in the way to work with. Look on the other side, though. Vivid. He is 2 boxes away. Now, 72 is in critical condition. Take a look, and look at this. 5 total builds.
No shields on either of them. Like, they have less than 100 effective HP. They do have a rift, but you don't want to go skyward unless you're going late, and it can guarantee you placements. But you also don't want to be caught out in an awkward rotation here. They can't afford to tarp. You either have to go right away, or it goes super late and just pray nobody looks in your direction, which for somebody, they're sitting on 50 points. Can he find 1, 2, 3, but the 16 isn't going to be enough. They desperately needed it, but now attention is drawn their way. 72 is going over. You see the combat swiveling towards them. It's Lotus directly above, Predator on the backside, and they're going to go late. They're going to go late, and they're going to pop and just hang out and hope nobody looks skyward, because 1 AR bullet will drop 72, 2 will drop Vivid, but right now everyone else is worried about rotating. And there it goes, skyward, and he knows it's white. All of a sudden, Vivid goes straight.
Oh my God!
Box, can he find it?
Oh!
Mateos gets dropped. That could be the difference. They have all the mats. They have the mid-tarp. They need to drop down and get more, though. They need the campfire. They need all the resources. You see, on the right, Vivid is down. You have to cover your sides. Vivid is down. 72 has to clutch up, but he's taking ticks. He's over in the storm. You can see him there, dead middle of your screen, and he is down outside of the top 15. But look in the bottom left. Ninja in reverse still up. Bizzle and Demo, Artsy and Midas, Sean, Claude in the middle as well. And hello, Burst SMG. First time I think we've seen that all cast. Bizzle puts it to work right there.
Every single weapon, every single form of utility, everything in the hands of these players that are playing the top 0.001% will be lethal.
I mean, Bizzle doesn't even need to use weapons sometimes to be successful. We've seen him, you know what, I'll give him a shout out for the memery, but like, in the end, it's really impressive doing that. You don't expose yourself to risk, but the fact that he's still going out and trying to make plays with the impulses and the turrets, like, that's when you know somebody's on another level for the solos competition. But Cartier Cole and Cartier Chris looking skyward, drops everyone, and he turns
there
back. Cool guys don't look at explosions as 1-2 tick over right there. Really heads up play.
Unfortunately, they're not going to get the materials and ammo, but still, 2 eliminations, 2 points on the board, and pushes them into top 15. You like to see it. The lobby is going to continue thinning out. Now, keep in mind, top 10 is that next placement threshold. That's where their next aim is. You've got someone up in the sky trying to challenge. Germ, I'm so sorry. You have been eliminated.
Hogman goes down, but was inside the top 10, so he got the 5 points. Bizzle and Demo are still up as well on the mid-tarp as shots are raining down from Chris and Cole. They're doing so well. Bizzle and Demo both go down outside the top 5. No more points there for the vaulted duo. And now Janik picks up dimes. We have our top 10 as top 5 as Cherish is inside of it. Reverse and Ninja still on the low ground. Lotus with a great slide around. Reverse with an even more heads-up play. Ninja's in your bottom right. Cartier Cole in your top right. Janik and Stowe on the mid-tarp as we have a 2v2v2. RPGs are coming out. Can they catch it? They catch it right away. Player gets dropped down. Ninja reverse, make quick work of him, but then Ninja catches the rocket right on his face. Can he find some time? Watch Ninja in the bottom right. Cartier Cole in your top right now. You can see Reverse trying to get an angle to support him. Cole has got the RPG reloaded, begins to work top down. Ninja continuing to tarp himself out. Did have enough room.
No.
Reverse went to the sky. Are they going to look up while Ninja tries to get them distracted? Now they're looking downward as Ninja is distracting. This is the split from Reverse. Gets blasted out of the sky. Interesting call as Reverse now gets dropped to Ninja. Make the play. The clutch is on him. Gets cracked back 17 HP, but now he has the high ground with Shadows. Needs to pop minis if he can get the room. A siphon would be huge, and it's not going to happen. Chris and Cole shut down Reverse and Ninja. 8 elims in the victory royale, pushing them up to 45 points.
Man, that was, you know, I respect the play for sure, but hindsight is 20/20. That's all I'm going to say about that. Next game, here we go. You got E11 Heart there in the center screen, 33 players, 19 duos remain. So we're pushing the very stretches here of the lobbies. You know, more often in finals day, we've seen dense lobbies, upwards of 50 people, upwards of 30 duos remaining, and that is not the case because today is the difference. Today is your opportunity to qualify for finals in New York City, and that's all these players have worked for. 10 weeks, they put it all on the line, giving everything they've had, and they're looking to make the difference today.
As B-Hex gets some great shots out there. B-Hex being known as one of the players who actually played across region a ton pre-World Cup when that was allowed, and he won money over in Europe actually multiple times. Just a really good kind of high execution style player. First time I've seen him with Heart, so really interested, but they're up at 51 points. Like, they're challenging and they're within striking distance. And also, like, I want to give a huge shout out right now to all of the players who played and competed. Thank you so much from like the bottom of my heart, being able to cast this, analyze this, work on this show, watch you guys develop and continue to grow and do such cool, awesome gameplay stuff and continuing to push the limits of Fortnite and grinding it out, whether it's the practice or every single one of these tournament windows, playing through holidays, getting the support of your family and your friends and pouring all of your heart and soul into this. It means genuinely the world to me, and it is so much fun to watch you guys just push this game to its very limits. So thank you for making our job just so awesome and so easy as we're into the final moments of NA East. Less than 45 minutes on these queues. Again, you get 3 hours or 10 matches, whichever comes first, and then you are done. So 40 minutes left to queue, and then the World Cup experience is over for those in the East.
That's right, and the next step would be the World Cup Finals. But here we go, man. Hopping in, you see Keys and Slacks. Looks like the HP is okay, but let's take a look at that loadout. It's looking pretty good. I'd be curious to see what Keys has, because Slacks is pretty stacked. Like, obviously, if you had like 3 more Shadow Bombs, an extra 2 rifts, or an extra rift, excuse me, to have 2, that'd be great. But even Keys' loadout's not bad either.
Yeah, lots of rotation. They're going to look to play safe here. They see everyone around them rifting over. The pressure plant rotation is not necessarily a fun one. And I know there's also kind of a general, I want to say conspiracy theory, where the circles are forced to go over mountains or changes in verticality. I can 100% confirm that is not true. The way the kind of like the storm works, there's a minimum and maximum distance for how far it can move from the current circle, and that's it. There's no like predetermined path or all that, so I will just absolutely eliminate that conspiracy theory. But now Slacks is trying to eliminate his opponent in the box. Hello? Ezro gets headed in, and the fact is they're wearing the exact same skin as well, and so is the other duo. Might have been a moment of confusion there. That's what can happen, but a brilliant pickup from Slacks and Keys, who are trying to make their push for qualification. That Elim gets them into the top 15 as well. 8 Elims, 11 points so far from this match, and Keys is looking to do everything they can. We've seen them, Zeke. They're at the top. Can they keep it up?
Just having the same skin is probably what made the difference, because you saw the player for a moment react and maybe take a shot, and they were like, oh, wait, not
the vertical ceiling trap is so good because the stair got put in the place, but you're only going to block it if you're on the lower side of it. Knew they'd both been on that and just was able to wiggle past the shots into the other box. His teammate editing that one at his back. That's what good duos do.
Now Cross, I mean, his duo is gone. That's it. He's by himself. But look, he's trying to make at least top 10 at minimum. There you go. He's held on. He's now in top 5.
Yeah, the Dominican.
Or top 10.
Saturno being picked up. We saw him in the winter. We're out trying to represent, but Vizitel gets picked up, and B-Hegs up on the high ground, completely uncontested. So the guys you want to keep your eyes on right now are B-Hegs and then Slacks and Keys. They're the ones who are trying to make a push for qualification. What happens to them is what matters here. All the rest of the players playing for their shot at the prize money, but those duos are in contention for a World Cup spot. B-Hegs picks up Snappy on the high ground. Jaw is able to get Stainless, and Cross is trying to find some sides. Drags gets picked up as well. The top 5 is going to be huge. Knock comes through because of the stink, and we get close to that top 5.
There it is. Top 5 has been achieved. Now look at this. We are moving. There's only a single duo left in this lobby. Everyone else is a solo rider. Another person has been eliminated. Look at this. Cross is just trying to cross up these players, finding the elimination. That's Keys!
Yeah,
he shuts it down!
Slacks and Keys were the last duo, but Keys is now knocked into straight solos competition from here.
All coming down to the wire. Look at Cross's HP, though. He can top back up to 100 shield, but his HP is going to make the difference. You see HK down below. He immediately gets picked up. Again, like Sundown talked about, Bags and Slacks. These are the 2 players to keep your eyes on, and they are 2 of the 3 players left. Cross is the meat in this sandwich right now. He does not want to be here. Bags has all of the HP advantage in the world. And now look at this. Cross, he knows Slacks is close. He doesn't know how much HP he's on. He knows Beggs is up top, keeping him pinned down. And look at Slacks is trying to close
Slacks
out.
has no mats. Slacks has absolutely no mats. Watch how he's walking around. He has nothing. He's just running through the open. B-Hegs just lasered him right there. Cross needs to get the edit on him, and he does. Cross will pick that up. B-Hegs should be able to close this out because Cross is on no mats now. B-Hegs needs to get it, and he does. Gets the Elim, gets the victory royale. 65 points for B-Hegs and Hart. That's what I'm talking about. Keys and Slacks, those are the moments. Cross getting the Elim and B-Hegs closing it out. If the Keys and Slacks are able to get that, that could be the difference. But with every single interaction mattering, these are the exact moments, the ones that will impact who is sitting there, and we're going to get right into a next match. You can see Lavish, Vivid, 72 hours, Ninja, Reverse, pick whoever you want. 53 points right now for the Liquid duo. Make it 54 once they convert onto C-Leo. There is no quad crasher flying in this zone around Vivid in 72. No flight zone. They'll swat you down.
Man, look at where we are, man. Gus, it depends on where we go from here. The effective play space is going to get very funky very, very quickly. You can see, if you're looking in the bottom right, there's already some of that blue area. Remember, that's the edge of the mountain. So that space, you can build off the side of the mountain, but you don't want to be doing that.
When in doubt, throw a grenade. Golden Boy is so proud. He got another one. That's a double for him. 5 eliminations. Now, the question is, can they loot goblin it? Can they get all of that? Because they saw other Splodes go to it. Bizzle had been pouring in Splodes. They want to get all of this because this is 3 teams worth of loot on the side of the zone. They have literally can open a whole, anything. Like, everything is wholesale. You want medkits, you want shields, you want ammo, you want mats. The Liquid Boys got it right now.
This is going to just, like, absolutely increase their potential of winning this game, right? They've got it all. Their loadout is looking so good, and now with that Rift to go, all the upgrades, you've got a combat shotgun right there sitting outside. I hope that they've potentially picked that up.
They're both already rocking them. Like, you can tell. They was like, people complain about, come on, you got combats laying everywhere. These guys will leave. What do you mean they need them? No, I'm just kidding. Come on, guys.
That was a good one. That was a good one. I like that.
No, I'm not funny. It's fun. But now you can see what they want to do is they are on the far side of this zone. They're not really sure where players are, but they're actually, if you look in the bottom right-hand side, there's about 3 duos in between them and the zone. So they're going to opt for an early launch pad, but they're so far away, it's not really going to give them as much distance as they hope. Maybe getting to 50-50, but they're still going to have to vertical up. You can see Vivid on the left-hand side getting ripped as Ninja is now trying to 90 his way upwards / double ramp, but he's getting ripped. Hey, Shadow Bombs, rift. Don't hold on to him. It's not worth taking all the chip. Pop a Shadow, get over, get safe. We've seen it before. Oh, no, got the chugs going up, and yep, they're just going to up. Well, they're so close. You can see in the bottom right.
Yeah, they
desperately want to build in. They don't want to burn it right now, but they use so much of those resources. I think it would have been worth a Shadow. But now look at that stack right there. Demo, Bizzle, Chap, Poach, Ninja, Reverse, Instinctual on that side. That is one heck of a side of a mountain.
There is just so many high-profile players that we have seen. And now look, like you said, man, now they have to burn things like the Slurp, right? I completely agree. They probably should have used the Rift, but like it's better to use it than lose it, you know?
As long as they had enough to get themselves back up, not losing the effective HP, like they're going to be fine. They have a good side of the zone. It's worth holding the material for there. It's just you get a critical mass point, right? Like if Ninja gets one more headshot on him, somebody's going to pour a stick grenade at him, or they're going to spend more resources. As now he's trying to find Chap. He gets the knock. That was a 36 and a 72 with a little bit of fall damage. Will they be able to aggress right there? That's Chap and Poach trying to get out. They also have priority on the zone. If you look at the bottom right, the entire lobby has to rotate past Ninja and Reverse.
Here we go.
And they have the Rift, and here it goes. You can see the side of the racetrack, better known as Gus, because, you know, it spells out G-U-S.
You know, I feel like there's a lot of people that didn't know that. Welcome. Now you know. But here we go. The rotations begin. And so now this is, like you said, Reverse and Ninja, they just got to sit here, wait for people to make mistakes, like that person in the ball, just start cracking and attacking the resources they have, whether that be HP, shields, rifts, materials, the likes.
They need elims. They need elims to catch up right now. They need a big game. They need big shots, and that's what Ninja is capable of. You see the number of rifle rounds he's putting in, but not quite connecting onto eliminations is going to end up being a big factor because they need all the points if they want to be in New York City. They don't care about anything else. They want to be on that stage. Reverse will already be there, but Ninja wants to own it as well as Luke gets picked up. They're going to make the effort here. They're in a prime position to do it. Side of the zone, still have a Shadow Bomb apiece and the Rift as we're closing in on top 15.
And Poach goes down just outside of that top 15 range, so no placement points. Hopefully his dual partner is still alive. We got to hope right now.
Yeah, Chap is still in. Chap is still in.
Yeah, okay. So now, I mean, Ninja is a laser beam, right? If he gets set up, he's going to just
They don't need to worry about getting caught in that fracas right there. The number of players who made it out of that, it doesn't matter how good you are. Out of the 5 duos who were in that situation, 2 made it out. 1 rifted, the other 2 shadow bombed, right? Everyone else got picked up. So using that utility in that circumstance to get another opportunity is fine. Proximity launcher into the common tack from Demo, and the Ghost Boys get themselves into the top 10 as well. They're making a push for it. 50 points, 5 elims, 5 placement points so far. Proximity grenade launcher is out from Pizzle. It's fantastic. It's basically a guaranteed 70 chip right now.
Could very well push victory royale. Vivid gets picked up, and look who's on the high ground. Reverse and Ninja, they're still here. You got, oh no! He gets cracked there, and look, DMO is down as well. But it's okay. Bizzle has been in situations like this. Now the question is, what are Ninja and Reverse going to do? They get cracked, and look,
the proximity launcher is going huge. He just got one. Oh no! Reverse dropped down, and he challenged it. That was so good. So much happened so fast. Okay, so Bizzle was trying to put the proximity launchers up towards the high ground. He got 2 different 70 ticks, but they were on 2 separate targets. So Ninja just stayed up while Reverse dropped down. The pints came through, but they were able to close out. Just such a good finish out there from Reverse and Ninja, clawing their way back into contention. Let's throw it back in the studio to Bala, because I am way too excited right now.
Hey, we're all excited, Sundown. What a crazy game. I mean, we already knew that 72 Hours and Vivid were in contention, but 2 more teams adding their names to the list of people who are fighting for that spot in New York. I'm joined by Shia. We're going to go ahead and get through some of the action that we just saw and break it down. Shia, what you got for me?
Absolutely. We got a few plays here from different angles, multiple different things happening. Vivid on that desperation jump pad. Going to be looking over, looking down, seeing, and placing his pivot spots on where he wants to look. Height kind of pressures him to go down, finds out that someone's not building, gets an easy sneak around. The timing is crucial here. He waits for other people to mat out so that individual has a certain sight line. The RPG by Cartier over here. He's going to not build, make sure the other enemies cannot connect up, then build up afterwards to make sure he maximizes on that fall damage, which is genius because then they have free height and can focus on the rest of the game. When this game starts progressing as well, we have a lot of shots coming off. Both duos looking at different angles of the entire map, but supporting when possible. Not too much tunnel visioning happening with the RPG either. Cartier is very dynamic in terms of switching towards his combat shotgun and helping out there as well. The RPG is only coming out once a lot of builds have actually developed in the actual server. A nice quick split there for Rockets to make sure the pressure is always on, and now using those free range RPGs, which is really, really dope. Gets a lot of damage on the rest of the server rather than pressure on everyone else that's over there as well. Finally getting that big pop off on Ninja. Right here, Slacks going in. This kind of enabled him to have the rest of his game available. He sneaks in with a shadow and stays right next to his enemies. You can see there his crosshair positioning kind of baits out one shot going for the finish, but then waiting for his enemy to peek through and getting a big elim off right there, making sure they have that box up. He's on point. Right here, Cross is going to start fighting B-Hags on height. B-Hags goes for a nice split here. We'll see it from the other angle. He builds up and kind of stays on a 50-50 spot, goes right, then gets that drop down on Cross, maximizing the time for the zone coming in and everything else in general as well near that end game.
Yeah, so that's crazy, and that is actually going to lead Slacks and Keys up into that top spot with 74 points. But, man, there are so many names here. I mean, this is literally a who's who. Shio, this list of names is crazy.
Absolutely. B-Hags as well, who got that nice clinch at the end there as well, bumped them up all the way to 65 points over here. My bad, I was standing in the way there. Zay and Saf are also up here as well. They've qualled, though. There are the top 3 who haven't yet, so it's going to be very exciting to see if they can hold up. Calc and Macwood were also up top near the beginning there as well. The point differential, 74 to 60. It's 14 now. That's almost, 2 big placement games, so some people are going ahead and leaving people behind in the dust, but these big clinches can shuffle things around, which is absolutely happening right now. A lot of people going top 5, bottom 5, top 5, bottom 5.
And I'm reading a lot of the social media comments and comments on Reddit. Specifically, a lot of people are getting excited about B-Hags and Heart because not only did they have a semi-performance that was historic in terms of winning 4 games in a row, but they're doing it again here today. They have an average placement of something like 7, so that's ridiculous, and it's still shaping up. We've got about half an hour to go still in the queues, but I mean, there's so much more to play, Shio. There's so many names on here that we know have the potential to move into New York.
Absolutely. That Dubs and Mega game all the way back when they popped off, got all the way up 2 big 20-point games. It can happen as well. We'll see what happens when we get into these games.
Yeah, can't wait to get into the games. We're going to do just that. Back with Sundown and Zeke. Guys?
Thank you guys so much. Can we everyone collectively just take a moment.
Hashtag Fortnite World Cup.
And just appreciate that Shy was covering up the things and then took a step back and was like, oh, my bad, I'm covering up the stands. That was just the best thing ever. And when he said that and when he took the step back, everyone here laughed. You couldn't hear it, but it was just the most wonderful thing ever. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Send Shy Wager some love. He is the best, and it's so awesome to have him here. But more Fortnite action up on deck, Sundown.
Yeah, and actually, so I'm going to kind of blame production on that one. Just going to call it in my ear. He told him to take a step to his right. You know, stage direction.
Come on, Alex.
Come on. So you know what? Hashtag World Cup. Give all the love to Shy Wager and give all the hate to Alex Punch. He's on Twitter as well, but that was his fault. Not setting our boy up for success, but Shy Wager has been fantastic so far today. No hashtag blame punch. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Give the love to Shy Wager, popping in, doing fantastic with his first breakdown in front of the screen, and now we're on board here with Niddle and Casker, who got off to a really good start, but have kind of slowed down now, hanging out at 38 points. But again, anybody can pop off at any point in time. Right now, we've seen its lower 60s to get in 65 and 63 being the mark, which is with a bunch of people being in contention like they were just talking about. Dubs and Mega have popped off in the back-to-back 20s. Stompy and Thashinkin did it today. Anything is possible, but you need to do it now.
That's right. I mean, you still have time, right? It just takes...
I mean, 30 minutes, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean... game in one more.
Yeah, unless you're dropping for elims and you're dropping just bukus of them, in which case, I mean, I don't know how you're doing that.
We haven't seen that be successful. Like, generally, once it ends up going through, like, yes, some of those quote-unquote W key games, like, people can get, like, some efficiency out of them. But,
yeah, but
9 times out of 10, those pop-off games are when people are going for the hard super aggro, trying to burn a couple games, and then somebody else is winning all of those engagements and then gets the victory royale as well, a.k.a. Nate Hill and Funk Bomb, a.k.a. Dubs and Mega.
Yep.
Like, it is the prime example of it.
Yeah, man. And I'm just feeling, I guess the word would be bittersweet. Like, this is such a bittersweet ending to, you know, everything. 10 weeks of this, and now this is the final 30 minutes here of...
No such thing as bittersweet. This is all hype, baby. This is what it's about.
Wait,
you can see it.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Well, we'll talk about this later. Anyway, yes.
Excuse me?
I'm gonna ask you a question. I feel dumb asking this on the air. This is just classic,
is this the first time ever, or?
No, I'm just, this was a really dumb question. This is classic Zekeism. Anyway, who cares? Baldy-sama, Destroy here. They've got no eliminations up on deck right now, but that's okay. 35 players still in the lobby, plenty to feast on.
Hey, can we appreciate this tarping real quick? The only thing